Some may say it's lust. Some may say it's love. Some even might say it's destiny. But for whatever the reason, this mech right here, I can't help myself. Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here, and welcome back. We're going to be talking about the Fafnir, and specifically the 5 Bravo. This is actually a mech that I fought to adapt originally. I was unwise. I was naive. I was wrong. I instead focused on the Annihilator way back in the day. Why? Why would I ignore the other 100-tonner that has the same capabilities, albeit slightly different, with ECM capability, with a lower squat stance, wider torsos? But this mech right here, there's just something about that dual heavy Gauss setup and just putting mechs in their place and being able to carry a match when I'm dropping solo that no other mech seems quite capable of. And more often than not, it does it over and over again. So I'm going to talk today about this mech. I'm going to showcase what it has in the Mech Lab, what I have for skills, and then I'm going to show you some gameplay footage of this mech in its prime time environment. So let's go and talk about the Fafnir. I mentioned the Annihilator at the very beginning, and I feel like this is a great comparison. You have two different 100-ton mechs. One is very tall and is good at coming around a corner. The Annihilator, it's good at that. This mech is actually better at hill humping, coming over the top of a ridge and being able to engage and then roll back. Whereas the Annihilator, because it's so tall, you see it coming. Now, they flip-flop. They trade. The Fafnir is not good for side poking because they're going to see you way before you see them. And if you are looking at what I'm looking at, there's a lot of distance here between you and the cockpit. And that's actually a disadvantage of the chassis. And one of the things to sort of realize about this chassis is it does have some built-in negatives. It's big, it's fat, it's thick. And because it is so wide, you do want to sort of be mindful of it, okay? Now, as I said, comparison to the Annihilator, has a similar or a smaller profile side, so it's able to come around corners and engage a lot easier. But it's not good at coming over a ridge because you can see, you can anticipate its movement. You can anticipate the Fafnir's movement here if you're coming around the corner. So just sort of be mindful of that. Another thing, of course, with negative being is it's a big mech. It's easy to focus. But just like the Direwolf, just like the Warhawk or any other Night Gear and so forth and so on, every mech has its weakness. Just know that, have a mental note, and then try to not fall into those situations and put yourself in a better situation. Again, I mentioned coming over the top of a ridge is better than coming around a corner. Albeit, if you got a friendly in front and they're focusing on that, this mech is going to shine. So let's go and talk about the loadout. We've got dual heavy Gauss and 5 medium lasers, also equipped with a ECM. Another thing to note sort of with this mech is the center line here. You pretty much, if you can see it, you can shoot it. And that's also another advantageous thing is when you ridge over or come over an obstacle, or if you have a mech that's below your cockpit, more often than not, you're safe to fire over said friendly. But just keep in mind, that's not always a guarantee, and you should probably practice before you do that. I'm sure your friendly will be thankful. But the high mounts here in line with the cockpit make this, again, a mech that's really advantageous to having those high mounts, being able to see your target engage. And of course, with the dual heavy Gauss where it's located, convergence is solid. All right, into the Mech Lab we go. First thing you're going to notice is we have standard armor. We have double heat sinks. We have Indo Steel. We have a standard 300 with 2 double heat sinks. ECM. We have 8 tons. Yes, that is correct. 8 tons of heavy Gauss ammo. 2 in each leg, 1 in each torso, and 1 in each arm, followed by the 5 medium lasers. We're also maxed out 78 out of 78 as far as crits, so this is tied up. I do have a little bit less armor on both arms and a little bit less on the legs, but everything is maxed out. Now, the one thing I will point out is back armor. Should you go smaller or should you go bigger? Look, at the end of the day, this is an assault mech that's vulnerable to rear attacks. If you put more in the front and less in the rear, any crit you take to those heavy Goths, which is going to happen, will either result in the heavy Goths blowing up and you lose that side torso, or it'll just be crit out. So just sort of keep that in mind, depending on where you are skill level and also your situational awareness and or your trust in teammates, you may want to up that. I don't think 10 is crazy even with this setup, just because again, it is vulnerable to those rear attacks. That being said, I leave mine at 6. You do what you need to do. Let's talk about consumables. I do with Cool Shot and I do a UAV because this is a semi-close range or basically point blank range build, albeit you can shoot those heavy Gauss rifles out at distance. I want the ability to go up and be able to get information either around me. Maybe I think of lights around me, or maybe there's something around the corner or whatever it is. I want the ability to pop a UAV, and it's sort of situational. I use it on almost all my mechs. But in this case, it can be really helpful, again, knowing if there's a light coming behind you versus not knowing, and again, just being able to pop that. So that's pretty simple. All right, let's talk about the skills here. For the most part, all I'm concerned about is cooldown and mag capacity. There's no other, I don't use the Gauss nodes here. I do not need them. Also keep in mind, I think you can practice and not need them. I think they're wasted nodes because all you have to do is practice. And just hear the audible charge, the visual charge, and then just sort of work on that and know when you can fire. Just think about 1,000 and then you can fire. So I want to pick up all the cooldown nodes here, and which I have. I'm not concerned with the heat gen. All those extra nodes, we are going to go to survival here on the left side. Now this is where it's going to differ between a lot of people and myself. Because of the mobility of this mech and the current assault mechs, I actually dive in and I invest 23 nodes into the mobility tree. Now, could you invest this in survivability? Yes, you could. And I think this actually may be a little bit more advantageous in maybe Maze patch if they do mobility. And of course, for those that are watching, this is May 2021. So if you're watching this in the future, this build may have completely changed. Keep that in mind. So I went with speed tweak here and agility. I want to be able to hit the brakes and be able to stop, and vice versa, reverse. And so that's what the hard brake, kinetic burst, and so forth. And of course, top speed, anchor turn. It's super advantageous to be able to have a little bit more mobility in an assault, especially where assaults are right now. Ignore jump jet tree. Even if you had jump jets, ignore it. Nothing to do with operations on this. And the big one here, and this is very important for you as a player if you do not know, we have ECM. ECM is a vital piece of equipment. And let's go ahead and check this out. And I'm going to read you what it says here. The GECM protects friendly units within 120 meters from electronic targeting systems. The GECM can also counter the effects of the enemy GECM within the same 120 meters. How do you do that? You hit J and you'll go to disrupt and counter mode. All right. If you're countering, that means you're countering someone else's ECM and you're nullifying it within 120 meters. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you are around and you have a light that has just ECM, not stealth, but just ECM, you can hit J. You're going to cancel your ECM doing it, but your friendlies are going to be able to lock on and see him right then and there. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people don't realize that's what that button does. And guess what? Boom, he's dead. You hit J again. It goes back to disrupt and disrupt in this matter. But one thing I want to point out here is the range here, 120 meters, and you'll see target range reduction is 45%. Now 30 right now, just because of the stats, but 45. This is so important. If you do not have this node, someone can lock on to you at like 500 meters or further if they have BAP or any other type of sensor equipment. So ECM is completely, maybe not completely, but right there, completely pointless if you do not have the nodes right here, and that's the enhanced ECM systems. And of course, if you don't have this, normally, again, someone won't be able to lock onto you until they're 200 meters out, which is what you want. You want that ability to where they have to get in close. Of course, you can be countered, but this applies to any mech with ECM. I just want to sort of point that out and talk about that. These should be your first nodes. I know you're going to want to go to firepower first. This needs to be your first ones because this is big survivability. And last but not least, auxiliary, and that is to pick up that last consumable slot. As I mentioned, this mech is so fun playing, and you're going to see in the matches how effective this can be, even if it seems, well, like your team's not going to win. You're able to pull some shenanigans off, and I like that as an individual solo player, the ability to influence the outcome of a match and be able to pull maybe the claws of defeat away and grab it and have that victory. So anyways, let's go ahead and check this out, and I'll show you some gameplay footage of this mech in action. And of course, you can watch all this action live. You head over to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/NGNGTV. I'll have a link down below. I stream Monday through Friday, 12 to 6 p.m. Eastern, every single day. It's great having you guys there. You can ask questions if you're a new player. I can, reference you, builds. I can answer questions directly. It's a great time to be had. So if you haven't, make sure to head over there right now. But let's go check out this gameplay. Let him ridge over it. Let him come to us. Headshot. Oh my gosh, Phil. You monster. Popping UAV. They're right on the other side. Goal. Nice.
Guys, don't get into the rotation, just stay.
I love how people just think everything's rotation. It's like, yeah, it's called, you have to, kill
Get into root strikes.
Image enhanced. Target engaged.
There's a direwolf left behind, G8, maybe focus him.
Target engaged.
India in the open.
Cyclops also.
India is still in the open. It's moving in my medium laser. Right? Foxtrot.
By the way, good UAVs, guys.
Okay. That was... It was clacking off here, boys.
Careful, they right flank, guys.
What's up, Freak? What's up, dude? How have you been, man?
Good job. Kilo, direwolf. He's alone. Very good. I would go for Alpha. Perfect, guys. Perfect game.
Nice shot. Target engaged.
I contributed.
Image enhanced. Engaged. Target engaged.
India.
Hard saddle push.
Target engaged.
India's almost down. Nice kill.
Target
Juliet. Gross. Let me go low. We're gonna worry about cap, guys. We're gonna have to push in, shoot whatever's on cap.
Target engaged.
Kilo CT.
Target
Shoot whatever is on cap, guys. You gotta shoot what's on cap. Stop the cap.
Careful, yeah.
Light. Pushing in. That was a rendezvous stand.
Target engaged. Enemy mech destroyed.
Hit Juliet.
Target engaged.
Juliet.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Someone stay in the circle.
Enemy mech detected. Target engaged. Warning. Critical hit left arm. Enemy mech destroyed.
I just headshot him. Oh my gosh, clutch.
Enemy mech detected. Target engaged. Enemy mech destroyed. Target engaged.
That dude is probably like thinking hacks. That's fun. I'll step away and say hi, but I can't. You know.
Target engaged. Left arm.
Oh no 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 no!
Torso destroyed. Satellite link established.
I'm with you, Phil. So I got you 6.
Fox is one touch.
Over there.
Target engaged.
I did it.
Shoot it! Shoot it! Kill it!
We're getting super split.
Target
Kill it with fire! I'm gonna kill this guy. Come on, make my day.
Target engaged.
Bet you won't do it. Balls.
Enemy mech destroyed. Enemy mech destroyed. Enhancement disabled. Target engaged.
You gonna push through, Phil?
Yeah, we can.
Copy that, copy.
Target engaged.
Or we can go kill India, either way. No, that's
Golf. Shoot golf. 3, 2, 1, shoot.
Oh, wrong target.
Target engaged.
Echo 5, watch out.
Hey, Bravo, one touch rear. Bravo, one touch rear.
Roger.
Target engaged.
Fall back a bit. Fall back, they're coming for us.
I got Kilo right here.
Target engaged.
Got their attention. Go Fortnite player.
Target engaged.
Son of a bitch. Echo.
Target engaged. Enemy mech destroyed.
Wow, that flamer.
Target engaged. Disabled.
Sub with you.
Copy that.
Target
Where you wanna
engaged.
push?
Let's help out our friendly.
Roger that.
Hey, Magic, you got Overwatch?
Not at the moment. Like, Mad Cat is trying to flank me.
Enemy mech
Golf?
detected.
Right torso, Marauder.
I want to worry about Echo.
Engaged.
You gonna go high?
Echo, CT, one touch.
Warning. Enemy mech destroyed. Target engaged. Target engaged. Critical hit. Center torso. Target engaged.
Hey, India's right below you.
Let's push him.
Yeah.
I'm going on the left.
Target engaged.
Finish Marauder. Alpha.
Roger,
Six.
Detected. Target
Skull's coming to you, Magic.
Target engaged.
Oh my god, focus on the catapult, double heavy gauss rifle.
Target engaged.
CT on the catapult.
Have to be careful
Let him-
with my
yep,
gauss.
yep, let him
Yeah,
come
yeah,
around.
yeah.
He doesn't know I'm here.
Critical hit. Right.
He needs to go, he
Fired.
needs to go, come on. One shot.
Enemy mech
Yes,
destroyed.
well done.
Target engaged.
And we got 2-6. Oh.
Is the last one the stalker?
Last
Hello?
one, yeah, F6, low ground.
Oh, okay.
Can you kill
okay.
it? I'm gonna go for the Mad Cat.
Yeah.
If the stalker is alive, he might have some mediums, so watch out.
Target engaged.
Okay, he's enough. Oh my god. Nice job. Beautiful push.
Well, that worked out. I did not know we were
That was
gonna
a good teamwork, Bill.
do that there. As you can see, this mech is absolutely fantastic. I hope you enjoy this build. If you haven't checked this out, or maybe if you're gonna buy this mech, let me know how you guys feel about this entire setup down below. And I know some of you guys are probably thinking, why don't you do this on the other Fafnir, the 5? And there's actually a specific reason, is that does a different setup, and I'll showcase that one on another video. But guys, if you did enjoy this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, make sure to catch me live over on Twitch. I hope to see you on the next, stream. So until then, Mech Warriors, peace.